Hi there. Happy Labor Day. Happy laborious day. Are you happy? You're just happy to get to go for a ride, ain't you? You and your little blinky eyes. I think she gets sleepy when she gets in the car. Well, plans have changed. I was going to go get me and my Faja some Chick-fil-A for lunch. I asked him about that yesterday, and he said, yeah, that sounds good. And I was like, cool. So then I got up and started working, cleaning, picking up, doing stuff, as you do, right? And then I was like, oh, it's 11:30. I need to call him and see what he wants for lunch. I had that thought, and the phone rang, and it was him. And I answered the phone, and I said, hello? Hello? And he said, hey. And I was like, hey, I was about to call you. And he said, well, I was about to call you. He said, I think I'm just going to eat. He made a big pot of hot cheddar soup. Now, even if I could have cheese, I would not eat his hot cheddar soup because the man is a dragon. He's an absolute dragon, and he can eat fire. Yeah, he can eat just straight out fire. So he used a hot cheese, and he used like a very hot salsa. I don't know what else he put in it. Anyway, he made the big pot of cheddar soup yesterday. It's kind of like a nacho. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, it's a very hot soup. He said, I think I'm just going to eat my hot cheddar soup because he has to be at the church at 1 because he helps feed the homeless. And I didn't know they were doing that today. I mean, just last week he told me he didn't go to the church on Mondays to feed. So I never know what's going on with him. You know what I'm saying? I never know. The man stays busy. I was like, well, we can still have Chick-fil-A, right? Right. I mean, I will eat that soup again tonight, but I don't want it for lunch again. Okay, so I made a little video of the soup so you could view what is all in the soup. So there's corn, tomatoes, there's some sausage, black-eyed peas, English peas, there's some okra, new potatoes, chicken, I think they said part of a roast. Yeah, it was very good. I think that's the roast or the steak. I don't know. It was very good. So Vicky makes the soup, and Joan said she makes it like every couple of months. And what she does is, say she buys a roast, she cooks the roast, pork roast, beef roast, whatever. She cooks it, and then she cuts off enough slices for a day or two. And then she puts the rest of it in the freezer. And I think she goes ahead and cubes it, I think, before she puts it in the freezer, because that might be hard to slice when it's frozen. I'm making that up. I don't know. I'm just assuming. She said she buys rotisserie chickens and gets what she wants, and she debones that and bags it up, puts it in the freezer. She cooks a pot of beans. She gets out what she wants and she freezes it. Well, anyway, after a month or two of freezing everything, then she makes a big giant crock pot of this vegetable soup. So it had, I call it kielbasa. It's like a sausage in a casing. You know what I'm saying? Like a Wiener Schnitzel. I don't even know what a Wiener Schnitzel is. I just liked saying it. A Wiener Schnitzel. I don't know. Somebody asked me in the comments on a video a while back what a kielbasa is. And I think she was from, she ain't from around here. So I don't know how to describe it except like a sausage that's in a tube. Yeah, that would be a good way to describe it, Tracy. Like a wiener. But they're bigger around than a hot dog wiener. They're bigger around. And then you slice them, right? And I cook them in either sauerkraut or cabbage. And she saves it and puts it in the soup. So it had, I don't know how many different types of meat. It had like green beans and English peas and lima beans and black-eyed peas and corn and little new potato. No, are they called new potatoes? The little bitty round, kind of like the fingerling, but they're just maybe the Dutch Golds. Is that what they're called? I don't know. They were little bitty potatoes that she just sliced in half and cooked in there, and tomatoes. But it was delicious. And then she also cooked the cornbread, Mexican cornbread, and in hers and Jones, she cooked it in a iron skillet, and she put cheese in theirs. Well, then she had these little, are they called pones? I don't know why that word is screaming out to me that it's called a pone. Editing time. It's not called a pone. A pone is more the shape of a biscuit. I just Googled it. What I'm talking about is called a cornbread stick. Yeah, because it's made in a corn-shaped pan. Okay, back to the story. It's the iron skillet that has the little pieces shaped like pieces of corn. You know what I mean? Yeah, she knows what I mean. And she cooked me 3 little strips of that. They were about that thick. Oh my gosh, they were delicious. Oddly enough, with my dairy allergy, I can have buttermilk that's cooked in something, like cooked in when I make gluten-free biscuits, or cooked in the cornbread, whatever. So she put buttermilk. Plus buttermilk is fermented, so that may change the. I think what I'm allergic to is called casein, C-A-S-E-I-N. It's a protein found in milk, and I think maybe the fermentation changes the structure of the buttermilk, so maybe it breaks down that casein. I don't know what I'm talking about. Words are coming out of my mouth, and I have no clue what I'm saying, so don't trust what I'm saying is accurate. I'm just guessing. But they were surprised that I can eat butter. I said, but butter is the fat that rises to the top of the cream. What are we doing? Oh my gosh, we're just having a race here in the parking lot. Everybody's trying to get to the Chick-fil-A at the... Anyway, y'all calm down, okay? Tell them. Say, calm yourself down. Yeah. Long story short, it was delicious. All I know is I'm at Chick-fil-A and there's hardly anybody here. Do you have 2 lanes open? I don't even think they have 2 lanes open. Well, let me place my order and I'll be back. Now, the reason that I'm eating Chick-fil-A today, other than it's a national holiday, and why not? Okay, so when I worked at the county, on the square specifically, none of the restaurants on the square where we normally would eat would be open on Labor Day. So we would always go to Chick-fil-A on these little holidays because Chick-fil-A was open. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You're the coolest dog ever. Anyway, yeah, so I've just kind of made it a tradition, unless my dad just wants to break out the grill, then I just try to stick with the tradition of having my Chick-fil-A. It's a good reason to have Chick-fil-A. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. Okay, in other news, not that y'all care about this, but I soaked in the tub this morning in my baking soda and all that stuff. So I washed my hair in the sink afterwards. This little one is so smart that when I went into the bathroom and I grabbed the shampoo and a little towel, she took off running and she got down in her bed. Now, she had been under my feet all morning to the point that every time I turned around, she got a tiny little kick of my foot. Not on purpose, but I was trying to turn around and walk and would accidentally, run all over the top of her because she was under my feet. Well, when I grabbed the soap and a towel, I was allowed to wash my feet. Wash my feet. I didn't wash my feet. I washed my feet in the bathtub. I was allowed to wash my hair without her under my feet is what I was trying to say. Wash my feet. But I did wash my feet because I'm going to get my toenails painted. I'm going to get a toe job at 4 o'clock today. So I definitely washed my feet. And I'll probably wash them again before I go just to make sure. Because I'm not getting the whole petty, where I soak my feet and all that stuff. She's just strictly doing a polish change. So I want to make sure my feet are clean. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the polite thing to do. But I'm about to get my food, so y'all hold on, okay? Okay, got my food, got my drink. We be rolling, riding dirty. Anyway, I thought of a jail story the other day because Danette said something. I think she said, I think she said something about going to jail. Something about, I don't know, cute. We're too cute for jail, or, something funny. Anyway, and I responded to her with this comment. I'm also allergic to wool. So it reminded me of the wool story. So back in the day, if you go any faster, you're going to leave the ground crossing over that intersection, sir. Anyway, so back in the day, when I worked in the jail, I was in the tower one evening, and the tower is a room that is slightly elevated above all the inmates so that you can watch, right? And when a deputy goes in there, you're supposed to watch their backs. I say supposed to because some people didn't do what they were supposed to do. The person in the tower who was supposed to be watching them wasn't watching them. Well, when I was in the tower, I watched them. Even when I got on the phone, I watched them, right? Because that's what we're there to do. Plus, you make sure that none of the inmates are beating up on each other or doing things to each other that they're not supposed to do, if you get my drift. So, anyway, one of the main things when you're working in the tower that you don't want to hear is the inmates ringing the buzzer unless there is an emergency, okay? Don't be ringing the buzzer, because the deputies come in there once an hour to do their rounds. And unless it's an emergency, you can wait for that deputy to come in there and say, I need a form. I need this. I need that. But they never wanted to wait, because we're a nation of right now. We got to have an answer right now. We have to have it right now. Oh, that used to make me so mad. Make me so mad, because it's not an emergency, okay? It's not an emergency. So please stop ringing my bell. I want to ring your bell. Ring your bell. Now, if somebody's getting their butt beat, ring the bell. If somebody's having a seizure, ring the bell. If you don't like your blanket, don't ring the bell, okay? Talk to the nurse. Talk to the deputy. Talk to somebody else. Don't talk to me, because I'm busy. Because I got 6 whole pods with, I don't know how many inmates, a couple of 100, 300, that I'm trying to keep an eye on, and you're ringing the bell because you don't like your blanket. Okay. So anyway, I'm in there, and this woman rings the bell. What's your emergency? I'm allergic to wool. I wanted to hit that button and be like, congratulations. But I didn't because, you know, I was nice. I am nice. But I was nice then, too. I said, okay. Well, I need a new blanket. I said, ma'am, you'll need to talk to the nurse. She's 2 dorms down. Talk to the nurse. Talk to the hand. The hand don't talk back. Anyway, she came back over. So can I get a new blanket? Did you talk to the nurse? Well, she hadn't been here yet. Exactly. You gotta talk to the nurse because the nurse will have to approve it. I mean, first of all, I don't even think we have extra different blankets. All of the blankets are wool because they're warm, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to sleep under a wool blanket. That's one of the main reasons I don't want to go to jail. I mean, other than losing my freedom. But, you know, anyway, I couldn't have my Chick-fil-A. That's another reason not to go to jail. Anywho, she comes over again and she rings the bell. You can understand why some police officers walk around angry all the time, because this happens all the time, everywhere you go. Is there a way I can get a new blanket? Have you spoken to the nurse? Well, no, ma'am. She's not down here yet, but I'm really cold. And you have a sweatshirt. You were issued a sweatshirt. Go put your sweatshirt on. But can I have another blanket? You're going to have to talk to the nurse. I don't know how many times I can say this for you to understand, but you're going to have to talk to the nurse, okay? You're about to cause me to have a stroke. Go talk to the nurse. So the nurse gets to her dorm, and she's in line to talk to the nurse. I make sure she's in line to talk to the nurse, because if she hits my button again, I'm going to lose it. I'm just going to lose it. She talks to the nurse. I'm like, well. She comes over after the nurse leaves and hits the button. I said, what's your emergency? Well, I need a new blanket. Did you talk to the nurse? I did. And what did the nurse say? Well, she gave me some Benadryl. I said, okay. She said, well, I still need a new blanket. I'm sorry, but those are the only blankets we have, really. I wasn't sure if the nurse could approve for her to have something else. I wasn't sure, because I'd never really had that issue while being in the tower. You know what I'm saying? Never had anybody hit the button so many times over a wool blanket. But we pulled the wool over her eyes. Yeah, anyway, I was like, there's nothing I can do for you. But I'm allergic to wool. I wanted to say, then stay out of jail. But I didn't say that. Because, again, I was trying to be nice. Can I have a new blanket? No, you may not have a new blanket. Sleep in your sweatshirt, okay? Okay. I'll be back. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this one. That almost didn't come out right. An update, there is a bicycle gone from my yard, but there is still a scooter, a scooter, whatever, in my yard. But at least the bicycle's gone. Anyway, I hope you've had a great day. Remember that I love you and Jesus loves you, and I hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy and I'm allergic to wool, I guess. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, okay? Which will be tomorrow. Because why? Because I post every single day. Don't come telling me that you've been missing me because you haven't seen my videos. because I'll be posting every single day. How often? Every single day. Okay, goodbye. I love you. I'm hanging up first. You say bye first. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.